Okay, this is Keith, and I'm going to share right now the what I ran into on the installation of the Csrp brake booster and master cylinder assembly to convert the 65 Mustang to make it have not only power brakes, but also what we've done is we've installed the Csrp front disc brake conversion as well. The installation of the disc brakes was fairly just in line with what I found the video on, and it went pretty smooth. But what I ran into now on the installing the booster assembly with the engine already in the car, which we already have our engine in the car, it was a little different because the other video that I found, actually they had the engine out of their car and they had plenty of room. They were standing up in there, and it was fairly simple for them to, well, I wouldn't say it was simple, but definitely wasn't as difficult as what I ran into. So here's the main tip I have for you is separate the master cylinder from the booster. There's only 2 nuts to do that. And then, of course, the other thing is I want to say is to go ahead and take the screw out that holds the reservoir. I don't know if I can get it on the camera. It's too dark down in there. There's a screw that goes horizontally that you can take that out, and it will allow you to separate the plastic reservoir from the actual master cylinder. Now, once you get that all separated, you can work the booster down in there by itself. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this extra light because it's more of a hindrance than a help. The main bolt that I want to focus on here in this video is on the driver's side all the way down on the bottom, where the booster is bolted up. There's 4 bolts that hold the booster to the firewall, and that bottom one, oh, I didn't bring a pointer, but you can see there's an upper and a lower. Here we are starting at the top. Here's the hood up here, and you go work, just look straight down on the as you're standing leaning over the driver's fender, and you will see a nut down at the very bottom. Of course, there's 2 of them. There's a top. The top one was difficult as well, but what I had to do in order to get that lower one, even to get it in without dropping it, I took a tiny wire that was about about 18 inches long, and I made a loop in it so that I could thread the bolt into it. So then I could, like putting a hook on a fishing line, just make a J and squeeze it together really tight. And I would actually squeeze it together without the bolt in it, and then thread. That's what I did. I threaded the bolt into it, because what happens is you're down there, you can get your right hand down in there around the booster. It's very difficult. The smaller your hands are, the easier it's going to be. But that bottom bolt that you can see that's really shining right now, I've got the most light on at the bottom. That's the most difficult bolt on this whole assembly. And I was able to reach with my left hand around under the bottom. I'm trying to remember. That may not be right. But anyway, the best way you can get your hands in there, do it and start it. And then you'll end up using a wrench, something like probably, okay, like this wrench. This wrench right here is one of those wrenches that's made, okay, it's got these bends in it. Now, I'm focusing on just the 9/16 of it, because that's what they are. They're 9/16. If you'll get that wrench, if you'll get you a long 9/16 as well, to reach down in there. I also ended up using a ratchet wrench on part of it, which I went with a 14 millimeter. It fits a little snug, but I kind of like it fitting snug, because once you're down in there, you'll see why. But at the very end of tightening them up, what I really ended up doing was I ended up taking this long wrench that I've showed. Okay, I'm going to try to get these in the light here where I can show them to you. Here's the long wrench, and then at the very end, it's because the hood's in the way. I didn't want to remove the hood, and I was able to pull it off without having to remove the hood. But when I got it, finally I got this wrench down in there on the head of the bolt after I got it as tight as I could get it. And then here's what I did. I'm going to set it up here and then show you. Okay. This gives you just a little bit more room to do the old mechanics trick. Okay, only we're taking this wrench that's got the offset, and we're using it as the one to give us the extra leverage. That's how I got it to completely tighten up. Now we're talking about the very hardest one, the very bottom one that I've already showed. Now that's once you get that bolt tight, the other ones, they're hard to get to, but they're just not near as hard as that one. And so that's what I wanted to tell you about that would help you out. Now we were able to get everything in there. We didn't have to remove the cross brace that we have. Then I'm going to try to shine the light on here. We got, I think they call it, oh, I don't remember. I get it mixed up. It's either import bar or an export bar. Never can get it straight which one, but it's this extra added support. It's a solid piece that goes, you know, all the way across and keeps the shock towers, you know, stabilized. And so I didn't have to take that out. Now it was real close. My air conditioner hoses, they were very much close. I did have to move them aside as much as I could to get it in there. But once I got it all in there and lined it all up, I assembled it all back together. And I'm going to tell you what I did. Instead of bench bleeding this like they recommended doing on the video, I normally do that too whenever I have a vehicle in here that's not crowded for space. But I went ahead and just reassembled it dry in there, and then I got someone to pump the pedal, and we just bled the whole system out through the wheel bleeders. I tell you what, I like that better in this case because it didn't get a bunch of fluid all over the place. It's very hard to capture fluid without it getting on your paint under your hood where you've just painted it. And so I went ahead and assembled it all dry, got the reservoir back on it, got all the lines hooked up, and I just went to the wheels and we bled about a half a quart of fluid through it, I think is what it took. But it might have been more than that. But we did get it all bled out, and that's all that I wanted to tell you. See if we're still rolling here. Okay. Yeah, okay. I didn't have a cameraman on this one, so here we go. That's about it. I hope that helps. It's the Csrp 1965. I think it actually fits a couple other years. Mustang for the conversion for the power brakes. I wish I could have seen the video. It would have helped me, but here it is. So thank you, and I hope it helps. Have a blessed day.